Busiyama Strokes in Kumo out Channel so age politics Albany. Unia, political source of Trendia, make with make headlines, Jembre, na EDB exumbo. Na adia ema omaimu, asitinamu aye timpa yipa, say bribes, corruption, unia, nti se woni sikadia, ne kamia kwa se omaino, ufrimu pa yipa, enso, emu adododie, se mu edwuma. Yebefa omuno gisi bia okope edemudie bi edikuhu panyin bi na oso wasene o kan bi so yede sa echichire mind ya ene na se bi oso se benya do na ekame akoye se nipa papa na ho so nam se wanya sika amfanye ntutu bi a ebetime amananya akunya na yakofa obia onse emfata. Now, some ya making and I'm an say nearly 7 in 10 Ghanaians and a face a year bribe demands. Now we say in a year NDC communicate to be actually say both receiver and then the giver in an say do more itina a year and round one. Unia top politicians who enter and you went free. Mr. Oxasim will see a yasam here pa because with me a fall victim. Oh baby. Can't be number for so with me a report such incident. Saying KCBR who see this kind of a year bribe demands now. Mr. Oxasim wants him name for mobile.
3%, 1.2 million being the real numbers in the population, and just 327,000 only acquire or say a number of them, Sefa and others. Money accounted for the exchanges, 87.5%. Direct money, legal tender, food and drinks, particularly when it comes to all the things that we tend to witness. Whether it's food and drinks, they'll tell you it's for transport and all that, food and drinks. Whether it's party, delegates, election, etc., you're going to have it. SRC, now these days it's all over. Even normal community or residential associations, they give transport. More than half of reported gifts were 100 Ghana cedis or less. And repeated gift giving declined, though, we're told. But here we are as a society. Lawyer, you've done your legal education. But still, in the eyes of the law, I mean, these exchanges cannot be accepted.
Yes, Roland, I would have wished you would have gone to Dr. Zato first, since he's a social...
policy analyst.
Then we would have all fed from where...
No, don't worry, you to come to his stand.
He's coming, because all along when you were projecting, he keeps sighing and doing the I don't know whether the was to the intro or the is to this. You see, by our cultural fiber, that is the first thing. Our cultural fiber tends to favor the giving of gifts. Even in areas where gifts are not needed, people tend to give gifts. And I was wondering, when you put the 9% favors, which type of favors are we talking about that the thing has not come up with? And it also says that it appears that there's an increase from 51% last time, or 69 to 51% now, which is an increase of doing better. But we are still comparing with failure. How do we move from here? Now, we should have situations where there will be avenues for people to be able to say, this man asked me for gifts or bribe before he would do ABC for me. And somebody should be able to investigate that. More often than not, I watched a video today of somebody who was in a Yalolo bus. And the conductor or the conductress, the lady, asked for money and said, I won't give you a ticket. And he took all the video. And I was wondering, up to now, no news came out on what is going to happen to the conductor. That is the sort of system we have. I read something about the airport, the MD of airport, saying that give us the information. Who is going to give what information? To who? Via what means? via Zoom or via WhatsApp. No notice has been provided for you to give that information. Yet, if they know that that happens within their system, they themselves can police it and be able to identify 1 or 2 culprits and punish severely. Finally, how do we do our own integrity? We need to rebuild our personal integrity. When we were growing up, there was something called civil education that was going on. It doesn't happen these days. So everybody, even if you go to the churches, people are asking for money. I've never been to the mosque, so I can't say that. I don't know whether it happens when you go to the shrine too. People are asking for favors everywhere, to the extent that it has become more norm than the unusual. Then again, persons who are supposed to manage these areas where people give bribes or allegedly give bribes, what are the KPIs? For example, if I am supposed to be the one issuing out license and I have a manager, my manager should be able to say, this week, have you been able to do 100, have you issued 100 licenses? And what were the bottlenecks? We should be able to move through that. And if you're able to reach that level where the KPIs are being met, then some of these things will be removed. I saw a video yesterday of a lady who was so happy that she applied for Ghana passport, did everything online, met nobody, and got her passport delivered. That sort of thing too will also help when we have a situation where you remove the human interaction from the system. That will help us. And we have to also stop putting expectation on persons. Somebody sees me on TV today, and by the time I'm coming out, they say, oh, you went there to talk for NDC. Can you send me 200 cedis for my rent, 300 for my education, blah, blah, blah. Where do I get it to send
Are you the politicians, the delegates? You start from the party delegates election.
Yes.
You give all gifts out.
Yes, that is another. You see?
You call it facilitation, transport, etc. You find all means to justify. So once you hold public office or you interact with politically exposed persons, that assumption is formed. Is that not it?
That is where we need to come to a position to say, this time, let us even punish the politicians. They need to be punished. The giver and the receiver are all in the same boat. But the sad part is that the receiver is not likely to report that I've received anything. So we should come to the stage where we are punishing the giver and the receiver. If that is beginning to happen and we fix the gaps in the institutions that are supposed to enforce some of these anti-graft measures, we will come to a place where we'll have zero. It isn't the situation that corruption doesn't exist in any country. I think it exists in almost every country. But the management, the way they manage it, and the percentage of public officials that are corrupted is the issue.
Mr. Kojopoku?
Yes, Roland.
So how do we make sure that at our own levels it starts with, well, while we're talking about public service, etc., the political leaders who then are appointed into the offices will be in a position to then maybe undertake some reforms or enforcement?
Well, Roland, let me start off by saying my condolence on behalf of the party, the MPP, to the family members of those who were burnt and killed in the accident on the Accra-Kumasi Road. We commiserate with them, and it's something that is very dire. 21 souls were lost from burnt. And
around the Brimso Bridge.
Yes, and not much has even been said by the government on this issue. But we've lost lives, and the Accra-Kumasi Road seems to be in a dire situation that needs attention, and the current government is not even looking at that. Look, the issue of how we interact and get services in this country, I think that it's partly cultural. I've lived in the US where gratuity is part of a service, right? You go to the restaurant and in fact, it's there. You are asked to tip, right? Tipping is part of, it's a requirement. That
it's
you
a
have
culture.
It's a culture and it's a requirement. You have to, yes, you have to tip, right? And when the bill comes, there's a tip price the way you put a tip. The waiter or whoever is offering the service gets minimum wage, and most of the money they make is on tips. So they make sure they give you the best service so they can get the best tips. I've realized that the culture in Ghana is the way we show appreciation when people do things for us. You realize that in the ministries, in the civil service system, the technocrats, we all know that, like my president said, President Kufuor said, that we pretend to be paying them and they pretend to be working. We all know the pay is not good. So you go to an institution and somebody helps facilitate something for you, the least you can do is show some level of appreciation. I've seen people go to the bank, that thing I've never understood it. People go to the bank and then go take a loan, and right at the bank, when the loan is approved and disbursed, they start giving the money to people who have helped them facilitate the money in the bank. Or people go to the bank, they withdraw money from the cashier and they will tip the cashier, okay? Those are things that you do to show appreciation when somebody has done something for you. In most instances, we don't show appreciation. So the person is doing all their best. But then for them to now try to now extort something from you, they try to make the process very cumbersome and the process very difficult in the hope that you will now help facilitate it quicker. So there are two scenarios. You go to an office, there is a gentleman or a lady who helps and gets up and makes sure everything is done, blah, 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 within the shortest possible time, facilitates everything for you. And when you are done, you just say thank you and walk away. You don't show any appreciation. Nobody's saying that you should give money, but appreciation of some sort will be appreciated, but you don't. Then there is this other scenario where you go to the environment and the person drags their feet, try to make the whole system a bit difficult, and they tell you, oh, I did a bit 2 weeks, oh, but my boss, well, my boss for what, then I'm then come out. You know, they try to give you hints of how you can now make that process faster. Then that gives you that thing that, oh, then let me facilitate this process by giving him X amount, right? That is a bribe. But you see, because we have a culture, that person have sat there and realized that if he gets up and he's paid monthly, yes. He goes out of his way to do the good things that he's supposed to do. Nobody shows appreciation. So then the culture of, he realized that the other way gets him more money, where he drags his feet, tells you a cumbersome process. Oh, I can see what I can do. You come back tomorrow and let's see. Gives the hint of something can oil the engine. Then you are forced.
You are using the right phrases.
Yeah, something can oil the engine. So you are forced to now oil the engine, right? So it is the culture that we have. It's not a good thing, but I'm saying that if we now, Ghanaians listening and watching us, let's show appreciation. We have lovely ladies and gentlemen employed in our system who goes out of their way to help. After they have helped you, facilitated everything, oil the engine themselves for the engine to move quicker. Don't just say thank you and go away. If you can show appreciation, show appreciation. Because if we keep doing that, then the person who is dragging his feet will realize that, this my colleague helped this gentleman, helped this woman, did the thing the way it's supposed to be done, and there was an appreciation shown. That said, there are people who are blatantly extorting, right? They would basically make sure that they put all the impediments in your way so that they can extort money from you. And if you don't pay, it doesn't get done. Those are the people that I think the system should find and check them. If we don't do that, Ghana is not going to be a destination. I have always said that when we have GIPC, Ghana Investment Promotion Authority, GIPA, Ghana Investment Authority Promotion Authority now, right? When they go out to do all these road shows, whenever Ghana, everybody gets up and go and do a road show. Boardroom decisions is not based on road shows. Boardroom decisions is based on intelligence. Boardroom decisions is based on people's first-hand experience. I have had multiple calls of people wanting to do business with Ghanaian companies, and they have reached out to people who've been to Ghana to find out from them that, you are in Ghana. Can you find out for me? I want to do business here. Can you find out from me if this is the case? So they talk to people who've been to Ghana and they have first-hand experience. And if the first-hand experience is bad, the person will not make that investment decision. Most investment decisions are lost to other countries because of that whole thing of 10%. If you don't pay 10%, it will not happen. No. Hey, if we have to go see this person with this bag, those are real. But you see, it's a global village. We are only 35 million population. We're not that big. In Africa, we are considered a very small nation. Nigeria, Ethiopia, Egypt, all these are huge population. And every investment, look at a destination where the population is huge, because that's where you start from. The numbers, how much of the business you can do in that country, right? There's a woman that used to do heaven, the non-alcoholic drink.
Like a wine.
Like wine, but it's non-alcoholic, heaven.
It's packed.
Sparkling wine, heaven.
Yeah.
In a bottle, heaven. Remember? You hardly see them around these days. You know why?
Yes.
Because
I think they even had it a paper.
This is where they started, right? Non-alcoholic wines. They started it in Ghana. They will struggle to do maybe a container in every 6 months. They now went to northern Nigeria, and they never came back to Ghana, because they are doing 10 containers a month. Right? He's struggling to do 1 container 6 months in Ghana, but Nigeria 10 containers a month. Because it's non-alcoholic wine, very nice, and Sokoto and all Kano and all these people, the huge population, Muslim population.
What's your point with this?
My point is that Ghana as a destination, we need to do extra to attract investment because of the population. What keeps us going is the Akwaba. People like us, people like the country, but when they come in, after the Akwaba, what next? That's when these issues come up. People looking for 10%, people looking for all these things. People think that Nigeria is a bad place to do, it's a difficult place to do business, right? You hear it all the time, but companies are struggling to get in. Why? Because of the size of the economy. It doesn't,
the population,
and the market, the size of the economy. The population is the size of the economy, right? So it's huge. So people will go through all the difficulty to get a footprint in Nigeria.
So you get numbers.
You have the numbers. So we need to do extra as 35. Yes, people like us, we have nice personality, we have the Akwaba. But beyond the Akwaba, we should really stop this extortion that we do as a nation, this 10%, if you don't carry this. Be ourselves, and people, I'm sure as the culture change, people will show appreciation.
All right. Let me just say again, there's I'm just seeing on our dashboard, the SEC put together a statement, and they said no one died in the...
We in some of the team course or channel, so I'm not so Jembre. As soon as what in the domain, Unia, Ibisha, na, your small question.